Day 5, building live auto captions. Got a few things on my list to build today. We're going to be creating, I go to the whiteboard. So I'm going to change the background color so it can be customized. So instead of the green screen, we can add any sort of color that we want. I want to set the aspect ratio of the window. So when you resize the window, it'll lock into an aspect ratio. And then I want to get started on the styles. So at the moment, the styles are like just a speech bubble that pops up. In fact, I should have turned that on already. So there's a speech bubble that pops up. I'll turn that on. Let me show you what it looks like. Hello, Yusuf. How are you going? What are you building today or tonight? So I've turned the captions on. Let me just... Captions are on. Captions are on. There we go. So at the moment, the captions are a speech bubble. And I want to work on the styling of that today. So these are the speech bubbles that pop up. I mean, it disappears a bit quicker than I'd like it to. And I'm just moving the position of them on the screen at the moment. So I want it to be above the keyboard. Working on an EduTech app. Have you released it or working on updates? So I'm going to change that background color. There's the background color there. You can see this is what the captions look like on the screen, and then we're green screening. The chroma key is green, but like if you wanted to add some extra color elements to the foreground, green's not going to be the right color to use. But I want to set the aspect ratio. So when you do resize this, it'll lock into an aspect ratio. And the styles, I want to be able to select whether it fades in, fades out, pops in, pops out. At the moment, it slides up onto screen. And the theme. So at the moment, the theme is speech bubble. And then be able to customize the colors. So we'll see how far we get. I've got 3 hours of solid coding to do. Yusuf, how long have you been working on the app for? I've also got my brand new keyboard camera back. Let's go. I can see that overlay there. Put some of that music on. One month. How far along have you got with it? background color. Yesterday my stream cut out, but just a quick update. I ended up resolving the issue that I was having. I couldn't select the input device. I was fighting with the APIs to be able to select the input device. I gave up, I conceded, so it just defaults to the normal input device, but now it tells you which input device is being used, and then you can change in settings. Because I spent a few hours trying to fix that, trying to make it so you could select it within the app, but that seems to be a bit hard to do. I've got the caption settings we want to add in there. Background color. Hello Castro, how are you going today? What are you building? So we're going to set the color only if it's been... Why is that a different color? Hello Marwin. Marwin asks, how long does it take to get your first subscribers for a new app? Depends on the app. So usually what I do is I release it for free for a few months and see if it has any momentum. And then I add paywall functionality. So it's already got a user base when I add paywalls. So pretty much from day one, I'll start to get users signing up, but it does take a few months for it to build momentum. So during that time while it's building momentum, I don't monetize it and I don't generate any revenue. And some apps never get to that stage. Those subtitles are disappearing too fast. Going to set the delay to 2 seconds instead of 1 second. Castro, been building an app for iOS, but apparently can't publish it because Mac is too old. MacBook Air 2017. Is that because you can't download the latest version of Xcode? Those subtitles are a bit better, staying on screen a bit longer now, aren't they? finger a bit too long. Might make that 15. Might even make that a customizable feature. Caption settings. To do caption timeout. Minimum version Xcode 15, mine is 14.2. Oh no. What I was able to do in my early days was download an emulator and then emulate the latest version of Mac OS and then able to publish from there. Background color. Have I gotten any input for potential users of this app before coding it? Leo asks. Nope, I haven't. This is a use case that I've created for myself, and I'm hoping that because there's a need for me to have it, that there's a need for someone else to have it, other people to have it. But also, it's entering a different area for me where it's going to be a bit more SEO optimization. A virtual AWS Mac to publish it. That's an idea. But to answer your question, Leo, a lot of my apps just come from my own needs for creating something. I release it. Sometimes they take off, sometimes they don't. Castro has been a great experience. Really get to see all the process behind app development. Yep. And even consider this, building on iOS is even easier than Android. Android is a whole different game. At least with iOS, you can build it in Xcode and then just publish it straight to the App Store. I'm getting a drink. I've been trying all different ways to be able to quickly mute the microphone if I need to. I've got kids in the house and a lot going on. So one of the ways I've done it, I've actually, this button, there's a button here that I've never used, and I've toggled that to mute the microphone. Unmuted. Castro, it's like even the little things can get so complicated, not to mention the process outside coding, dealing with terms of service, privacy policies, logos, design, marketing, etc. I agree, and there's tools that make it easier with AI now, but like you still need to put effort into everything that goes outside of the coding, and I think that's why good coders need to learn a whole new skill set to make an actual product. Because what you're talking about there is pretty much product design, and that's what worked really well with me when I was releasing an app every month. Although the apps were sort of small and not great, it helped me learn about marketing it, promoting it, distributing it, and just getting that muscle working. Then later in the future, I'm able to call on those skills. So we're working on the background color. We want to just customize background color. it's going after the group size of the subtitles. Background color. I said it's NS color, not color. Oh no, I do want to set it to color. Because I do have this one. I want to... First use of AI for the day. Convert this to color instead of NS color extension. Yeah. No UI color in scope. Ah, that's why I'm not using it. This is for AppKit. No UI color in scope. Claude's not available in your country. What country are you from, Castro? In saying that, has my internet dropped out? No. Brazil. Yeah, I heard Brazil's cracking down a bit on AI, isn't it? Do you have ChatGPT? There we go. So now, caption settings. We set it to the hex value, save the hex value. There we go, so I'm saving in the settings now. I'm setting the background color and then restoring it. So now here, where I've got green, I want to do caption settings, background color. This should load green. Yep. I mean, that's not much of a change of where it was before, but it is saving to settings. I've got settings, general view. This is my general view settings. So I'm working on the background color, getting that background color. I made this custom view yesterday. Text, background, color. Castro, this is an automatic captions app. So the captions that you're seeing on screen as I'm talking, this is what I'm building. And today, day 5, I'm working on the background color. So being able to change the green to a different color. I want the window to lock into an aspect ratio or customize. And then I'm going to work on the styles of the subtitles. So I've got like 2 and a bit hours of coding that I can get done today. And I want to get stuck into the styles today, but to get there, there's a bit of prep work. In Mac OS App Kit, is there an easy way to select a color? I know on the iOS there's an easy way to select a color. Yes, App Kit can use NS Color Panel, which is Mac OS's native color picture. Here's how to use it. So I execute it. Okay, so caption settings, background color. Thought the subtitles were built-in function from the stream. Well, they're getting there. It's slowly getting there. But you can see, so Xcode is processing, you can see there, Xcode is processing the text that I'm talking. And then it is rendering on this frame here. And then I'm capturing that window, putting it into OBS, and then green screening the background. And I can also, I've added triggers in there. So when I say like, hello, it triggers Kenny waving. And I can even say thank you, and that triggers a celebration. So I think I'm adding something to captions, a dynamic feel that hasn't been done before. And I'm hoping others are looking for this, but we'll see how it goes. I think integrating it, getting it into OBS is a bit cumbersome at the moment. There's probably a better way of doing it, a direct plugin. But just to test whether this is a viable product or not, this is the way I'm going about it. Integrate color selection into the background color part setting. It saves to is caption settings background color, which is a color type of color type. But we benchmarked, so someone pointed out yesterday in the stream that Claude versus ChatGPT, in terms of coding, it's pretty similar, but Claude does better, outperforms ChatGPT with refactoring code. So if you go in there and ask it to make changes to existing code, like what I'm doing now, I punched in my code and said, make changes to this code. Apparently it far outperforms ChatGPT. Okay, color well view. We're going to grab color well view. Okay, cool. So we've got a color selector there, which doesn't do anything at the moment, but I guess that's because we're just doing it in the preview. So I'm going to turn the captions off, load it up. Settings, color selection. Yes, so we do have color selection now, and oh yeah, look at that. That works well. So it's updated in real time, works beautifully. I like that. I want to be able to set presets. So I guess the issue there is now that I've changed it, right? How do I get it back to a solid green or a solid blue? Because if I enable that caption, oh yeah, it seems to work right. But do I have solid? There we go, green. Oh, let's see if it. So we do have some locked-in colors here. All right, so it's kind of working, but I'm not 100% convinced that a free selection of the color is the right move. So what I want to do is have a drop-down menu that will select preset colors and a custom option, and a custom option loads that color selection. So we'll do the menu. Preset colors, because I want to have preset color, label, and color, which will be a color. This way I can set a bunch of preset colors. State private preset colors, which will be preset color. And we'll set that to preset color label green color dot green. Green. That doesn't work. Insert color, of course. So then we can have the actual main colors. So we have blue, red, green, blue, red, and we will also have custom red. So then I want to step through those ones. Background color for each preset colors. Preset color. The text will be preset color dot label. The struct needs to conform to hashable. Is it as simple as doing that? Yes, it is. Restart. Hello, Zaki. How are you going? What are you working on today? Castro, any advice for an 18-year-old getting into the development market? Do you have any coding experience? You were saying that you're looking at building an app. Is that the first programming that you've ever done? So I really think the biggest barrier is just getting started. So if you've already done that step, that's a good step forward. Nader, how to know chance for keywords using TriAstro based on traffic and difficulty. I've got some, if you have a look at my previous live streams, I've done some App Store optimization audits on people's apps, and I run through how to find a keyword, how to target a keyword. I'd recommend checking that out. It's just a matter of finding keywords that, and the new version of Astro is great, it recommends keywords as well. Then you look for keywords with a low difficulty and a high popularity. So for some reason the background color label is incorrect. Okay. So the text, this is a bit of a dynamic field. Castro learned some basics on Java previously, but have been diving deep into Swift and Swift UI for the past months. Really not sure if I should stick to mobile dev or go to machine learning field. I don't have an answer on that one. What are you passionate about? Zaki, just the stone identifier. I don't know what the best is. I must work with. Zaki, have a look at the keyword rock identifier. Because people, gem identifier and rock identifier, from my own research in the past, those seem to be better keywords than stone identifier. Color label, color label. So I want to dynamically set the color label. So if settings, captions, settings dot background color, might call that background color label. If background color label equals .2 hex equals color dot green to hex, return green. So what I'm doing is just blue, maybe for color in preset colors, instead of hard coding it, I'm going to step through it. If the current selected background color to the hexadecimal color is the preset color, then we will return preset color label. Otherwise, we'll return custom. So now, when that loads now, when we set a color, we can select red, green, blue, or custom. When I select custom, I want to be able to show the color picker. We're going to have to relaunch the app. Okay, Sid, what's up? I see people use, Zaki, using the word IA. People are using the word IA in their products. Is that like a intelligence artificial? What does IA mean? Sid, I'm using Swift UI. So it's very far removed from C hash. It's native app development on iOS and Mac OS. Alright, settings. So we got red, green, blue. They're not setting it, are they? Custom. Because we've set the custom one, now we need to set that. I made game on C3, so that's why I asked, what's C3? Now we want to set the... Do I need any artwork? Ah, C3, C hash you mean, yeah. What's the game you made? That's... Seems like a pretty complex task, making a game in C sharp. RPG game. Nice. Did you release it? So what we want to do is we have caption settings, background color equals preset color dot color. Still working on it, Sid? Sid. Settings, red, green, blue. There we go. So we default to green. Not sure how many people are going to use red, hey? Final year project. That's cool that you can build a game in your final year project. What are you studying? Computer science. Impressive, all these... I always get computer science graduates and people in there in the chat, and I'm always blown away by that. You probably know a lot more than I know. Okay, so I want to put this in the action. So if preset color dot label is custom, then we want to trigger the color selector. I want to select the color selector when preset color is set to custom. Can I help in the user interface, like any kind of artwork? Do you have some examples? Custom. Color. I'm not entirely sure. Are you on Twitter? I'm not on Discord. Yeah, that'll be good. Instagram, jump on Instagram, send it through Twitter. I'm not on Discord. So I've got extra delegate adding here. Oh, I've got the red color there. So I need to change that from red back to green so I can switch the screen. There you go. And then also state object. This is where SwiftUI gets a bit complicated when you start to do things that we need to make the color panel delegate conform to observable object. Here's the corrected version. Color palette delegate. Not entirely sure what delegates are. I just know it's a thing when you're building Mac apps. Is there an easy way? This is complicated. Surely there is an easier way. This is the view. I just want to call this programmatically. Make key and order front nil. Yes, there's a much simpler way. Instead of using a delegate system, you can directly show the system color panel. Here's how to integrate it with your menu. Add the color well to custom.
Well, there's no problem. If you had a gun, shoot him in the head.
Settings. So we go red, green, blue, custom. So custom now works. That works. Ah, actually I like that. So I can have the color and then we've got to automatically add to preview. So that actually works a bit better than I thought. Just set the width of that to maybe 100. It doesn't need to be so wide. I want to sort of match the same width as the next one, but I know that that's not always going to be the case. Is it that important? The width of it? Green. Do I think AI will replace junior developers? I don't know. It's gone to blue. Hang on, set that to green so it clears that out. Message requests. Ah, you've just sent a message. View profile. Did you design these? I'm not putting them on the stream just in case, but I'm having a look at it. Did you design all this, or was this done with AI? Nice. So I'm not in the need for this sort of style, but this is really impressive. The type of stuff that I need for the apps in terms of the user interface, SwiftUI takes care of all of that. It's mainly app icons. But also there's so I'll show you. On the main app, and even this one, so the main app, the icon, I'm going to have a watermark. At the bottom of the screen. And I want these like so I want to have like the words start off within the boundary and then make their way up here and sort of animate coming out of the logo. But the logo itself, the best auto captions, and then the actual icon itself would look like that. And then on the watermark, I want the watermark to be dynamic and have the words pop out. And then with this app, so this is part of the same series of apps. So instead of best, this one will be live auto captions. That pops out. And I was going to start playing around in Procreate on that. But send me through on Instagram what sort of price and some examples of stuff that you've done in the past, and I'll check it out. Oh, don't get stuck into it now. Don't get stuck into it now. I've got a while yet to release that one. Just send me through your prices and some portfolio that's similar to that. Okay, so we got background color green. We've got the color selected. I'm going to change the order of them. I know it's not that important, but I'd like widths to be the same. So we'll make that 250. We'll make that 250. And that way there's some sort of consistency. Audio's dropped. Green is an interesting one, isn't it? Settings. So when I set it to green here, it changes it. What if I say blue? Then I restart. Oh, it's not saving it, that's why. Well, that will do it. I thought it was saving a different color. On change of background color, we'll say caption settings, save. So now if I set it to green and I restart the app, that should be set to green. If I set it to blue, restart the app, that's set as blue, and do a custom one. I do pink. That didn't work. Custom pink. Custom's not working unless I click there, maybe. Yeah. So I might make the custom label only appear if it's custom, and then it just saves me this extra headache, I think. I leave that one in there. So if we're set to custom, we don't do anything. If label is not custom, or preset color.label is custom, then we show the custom option. So settings, green, blue. So custom doesn't do anything, which is what we want, because that's now the custom. Let's just make it so custom doesn't appear at all. Okay, that's good. Or preset color dot of course, what am I doing? Background label color equals custom. So now what it will do, you can set it to a preset green, red, blue. There's no custom option in there. In fact, I don't actually need to. Yeah, I don't actually need to have that appear in there whatsoever. Green, blue, and then if I do select a custom color, it goes to custom. as the label, but then I can set it to a different one. Green, blue. Okay. Checked off the background color. Now we want aspect ratio. So the way that will work is when I resize this window, I want it to lock in to an aspect ratio. I'm actually not sure how easy or difficult that's going to be. Maybe again, so if you set the size of the window it sets it to custom. But if you go to settings and set the aspect ratio, then it resizes it. So instead of locking it to an aspect ratio, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time building that feature. Hello, Pascal. I haven't used cursor yet, but I alt-tab between Claude and ChatGPT. It's a good tool. What do you think of it, Pascal? I got your name working properly on the subtitle then. I made sure I said Pascal. Nah, didn't do it then. So we got background color. So we're doing aspect ratio. Set aspect ratio. While I'm here, change input device to microphone. What other colors would you have? There is typically a green screen, but what other colors do people use? Before I jump to the next bit, I'll just make sure I've got all of the colors covered. Green, blue, black, gray. Green, blue, black, gray, They will now give us blue, black, grey, white. Pascal, yes. I'm using Continue Dev with Claude. It's an extension for VS Code. I didn't know that was available. It's great. I have dyslexia and used to twist letters a lot. There's special fonts for coding with dyslexia too. I used to have one called dyslexic font, which changed the shape of D's and B's and P's so that you don't get them, when you look at it, you don't see it all jumbled up. Typical aspect ratios for video content. Oh, look at this. It's already guessed what I wanted to do, right? That can be a let, can't it? Background color, set aspect ratio. Aspect ratio preset. We're gonna have a custom one again. Oh, it's already set. It already did it. Oh yeah, so dyslexia means, in my case, very often twist letters even when writing normally, which can be very bad when coding. This text is also corrected by AI. That's a good use case. Why would captions not be working? There they are. So we got the aspect ratio, widescreen. And in caption settings, now I want to, after the background color, aspect ratio, double 0. 0 will be the default. That will be, yeah. Make sure it's saved. Because we're not actually I think we do have to save it, because we're not actually wanting to change, like, what am I trying to say? I don't want to lock in the window to a fixed width and height when you resize it. That's just going to be too annoying. So in settings, you can set it to an aspect ratio, and that'll hopefully resize the window based on the width to that height. And then that will hopefully save the width and height for next time. That's my theory. It's not something I want to be spending a lot of time on. So by default, it'll be set to that. And that's only saved to settings when you resize it, just so that the settings can show whether it's a custom one or not. Aspect ratio preset label, aspect ratio label. We're going to show the same formatting. Where the ratio does not equal 0. Syntax is incorrect. This is how you do it. So I remove the where. There we are. Aspect ratio label. Aspect ratio label. Custom. Widescreen, vertical, square, ultra wide. Yes, we do set it Caption settings, aspect ratio equals aspect ratio preset dot ratio on change of caption settings, save. So now we go vertical, it saves it, ultra wide, widescreen. Content view, this is going to be the tricky part. Manipulating windows not fun in SwiftUI. On change of caption settings, aspect ratio. If aspect ratio dot ratio is not equal 0, we are setting the width, or we're setting the height manually based on the width. I have a content view. I want to resize the height based on the aspect ratio set. How? Hello world. It's as simple as that. On appear, we can set it maybe. Geometry reader. Geometry reader I'm not a fan of. Okay, so geometry reader. Have I got width and height set already? I've got some overriding that's happening here. So I'll get rid of that because that might cause some issues. Let's just test if that works first. The subtitle should be at the bottom. Yeah, okay, so all of the layout's still working. That's good. Now, we want to add this logic. Already setting it there. Let's see how we go. Yeah, this is what I thought was going to happen. So we can still resize it. Settings, and if I set it to like mobile or square, widescreen, ultra wide. It doesn't resize the actual window, it just resizes the element inside the window. This isn't resizing the containing window, it just resizes the viewable element inside the window. Yeah, it's from Artlist, Pascal. How did you tell? How could you tell? I've just got a stream of music playing. Keen, a good ear, keen ear. Because using Artlist as well. I've got the captions at the bottom and it's adding that white bar. This looks a bit like this bit of code looks like it could work a bit better. Changing the actual width and height of the window directly. Then I'm not messing around with geometry. It always makes me nervous messing with geometry at the higher level because it acts a bit weird sometimes. Alright. Square. Ultra wide. Do you know what? I don't know. Set frame. When I did square and then I did ultra wide, it moves the window down. I don't want the window to move down. This works much better. But now if I go from square to ultra wide, changes the top position of the window. I want the window to stay fixed to X, Y coordinate. Settings, square, widescreen, vertical, mobile, ultra wide. Oh, what happened then though? Oh. I'm wondering, so that worked actually a lot better than I thought. So I'm wondering now if I can detect the width and the height of the window. So we set up a window size observer. And then in content view, we create a new state object called window size observer. Pretty sure we've already got an on appear happening. That's very big. So that is detecting when the size has changed. Let's see if it detects correctly by, so we say square. Go back to square. So yeah, it does do the correct aspect ratio. So what I will do now is caption setting. I wonder if I can do the original functionality that I wanted to do, which is when you resize the image that it forces the whole thing to resize. Resize window aspect ratio. So if the aspect ratio is changed, it'll force this might go into an infinite loop. Current width. This song's repeating. Cannot convert value of type CG float from view to expected argument type double. Let's just see if that works first before I get carried away. Build failed. So I always want to go full screen now. I think that's because it's triggering the change of the aspect ratio. Guarantee it. It's the moment we view the video. No? So. Let's see if this works. Yeah, that's doing exactly what I want it to do. So it locks it to the aspect ratio. Vertical, ultra wide. Nice. And then now I can add custom in there. So if it's custom, it just won't resize. I thought that was going to be a lot harder to do, actually. Oh, it's already set. It's already done it for me. If aspect ratio is not... Settings, general view, we can remove this one. Well, we don't actually want to remove it, because what we might do is just... because that'll just be called custom without the ratio afterwards. We're doing the preset. So aspect ratio preset dot label does not equal custom. Equals. We want it to equal custom, don't we? Just need to have a quick toilet break.
It's a bounce, it's a bop, it's a slap, it's a knock. It's a bounce, it's a bop, it's a slap, it's a knock. It's a bounce, it's a bop, it's a slap, it's a knock. It's a bounce, it's a bop, it's a slap, it's a knock. It's a bounce, it's a bop, it's a slap, it's a knock. It's a bounce, it's a bop, it's a slap, it's a knock. It's a bounce, it's a bop, it's a slap, it's a knock. It's a bounce, it's a bop, it's a slap.
just over an hour I've got left to be building this. I want to get this aspect ratio done so I can really start to get stuck into the fun part, the styles of the captions. Instead of resizing the width, I want it to resize the height, allowing the width to be dynamic. We should not set the width to the function. It should be same as existing code. Instead of height, it's width. Oh. What's the best way to handle this? So I can't actually resize the width, but I want to be able to resize the width. This doesn't work as expected. I want to be able to resize height or width, and it will automatically click height. I want to be able to resize height, and width will click to aspect ratio. If I resize width, then height will click to aspect ratio. if no chain, I don't know. Let's see. So in the delegator, we are saving the size. Was that? So we're already saving the size. Resize window aspect ratio. Okay. On change of width. That's one way of doing it. So height no longer changeable. New height. The code for works nicely. Now apply the same technique to that, I think. Or they just loop each other. Changing height works. Changing width works. Changing that goes into a loop and crashes. Changing width works. Width works well. Changing height works well. But if I change bottom corner both at the same time, it goes into a loop. Window observer is resizing, so I've got to update the window observer. Width works, height works, crash. still loops, unless there's a bit of code that I'm missing. Let's try a different approach by only responding to width changes and ignoring height changes completely. This way, width becomes the primary dimension that controls the height. But I don't want to do that. But the user should be able to manage both. Width works, height works, crash. I'm going to go back to the original code. Is updating size false. This is getting messy, so I'm going to do height, width. New width. Double. Resize window aspect ratio, width, height, new height, from height, from width. Okay, so what I'm going to do is set an ID, a unique ID, increment it. And then if the current ID is same, then is updating false. And then here we say if not updating size, is updating size true. So what happens here, in theory, it sets that it's updating. This is a timer that will go through with the unique ID. It will only say false if that unique ID is triggered. So if the current ID is the same. Actually, we can do, so if it's custom, then we don't need to worry about any of this overhead. We'll see. We'll see. Resize, that doesn't work. Resize, that doesn't work. Resize, that doesn't work. So resize width works. Resize height works. Resizing that one clunky and clicky, but it doesn't crash. Okay, what happens if I set to vertical? Crash. I think that's because it goes off the screen. Crash. So we're setting the
every breath that you waste, slipping venom in my veins, yeah. You're just trying to clip my wings. That's why you throw these words at me. I wish I could stay away.
So if I resize it down, settings, we go vertical, mobile, no crash. Widescreen, no crash. Square, no crash. Ultra wide, no crash. What happens if I go too big? And then I say vertical mobile. They'll go off the screen. Doesn't crash, that's good. Yeah, going from the corners, not ideal, but the default will be widescreen. If we do custom, resizes however we like. Okay, it's a little bit clunky, but it works. And then what I want to do is on appear, we will resize window aspect ratio. But I want that to trigger not right away. And then the default I want to be in 16:9. So the default ratio will be that one. I actually think that worked out a lot better than I thought it was going to. Then I can make that. Go back to code. Go to blue. Then I can set that to the width of the screen. Green. That works. So we've got the background color working. We got the aspect ratio working. Oh, I've changed that now, haven't I? Settings, make that blue again. Go back to my code. Do that. Back to there. Turn the subtitles back on the main bit. got about an hour to go. I want to make a dent into customizing these captions. Instead of set aspect ratio, it's just going to be aspect ratio. And then we've got settings, animations, and styles. Styles might call captions. Templates, themes. Keep it style for now. I feel like I need a stretch. So we're going to have text color. Background color, that could be a bit ambiguous because we've got background color already. Placeholder text. So I'm going to have is title, description, going to have the colors here, the animation is in, out. Underneath it, I want to have a preview of the themes. Themes. How will that work? We'll have preview, box underneath it, name, and then selected. This is a playlist from Artlist. How do I want to be able to search by safe for work type things. Maybe the easiest way is to look for ones without lyrics. I like this song. vocal, remove, exclude. There we are. All right, back to it. Normal style goes up here. Then I'm going to add a preview of what it's going to look like here and the ability to select it. Caption styles. So we got speech bubble, closed captions. We don't want that in that view. It's going to create our own view for it. Style selection view. This is live auto captions. This is live auto captions. Best way to crop this. I called it style speech bubble. Where have I saved it? Desktop. background. No, we got. So I want to have the environment settings in there. Because we'll set the background as caption settings dot background color. Color black. Should be a transparent layer there. Oh, I've flattened it too much. No? So why is there no background color? Oh, because there's a background element already there. There we are. Background color. Have a look what it looks like in the style view.